Hi. Sorry that this took so long, but I have been lately the biggest crusader for everybody to swap to mo2. So I wanted to make just a really short video explaining how it gets used in general. For the setup, I recommend watching somebody else's video on it, but for the most part, it just works out of the box. You are going to want root builder, which I should have looked up before I started doing this. Um, but here we go. Just literally Google search root builder, and here it is. Download it on GitHub. I guess you could do it on Nexus. There you go, most recent version. Download it. It tells you exactly where to put it. Here you go. Actually, the root builder website, I have realized, might not be the most useful. This is not how like my mod organizer is installed. If you want to find out how yours is installed, type in mod organizer, right? You want to right click the shortcut to it, open file location. It's going to be another shortcut. Right click it, open file location again. And this is where your mod organizer is. This is the plugins folder that you want to put this root builder folder in. Put this in here, restart your mo2. Hi, mod organizer. I have a theme installed, which I can link at some point. But I'm gonna just show like how I would download a mod, how I would update a mod. Sure, VG Outfit 24. How you would normally download a mod, right? Here's your mod manager download. Before you, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before you do this, you want to make sure that in your settings for this, under the Nexus tab here, associate with download with manager links, and connect it to your Nexus account. This just makes sure that when you hit that download with mod manager thing, it opens up this and not Vortex. Every time you open up Vortex, it will, without asking you, make it the default for this file type. So there you go. You can see at the bottom, download started. There's my thing. I double click it to install it. I click OK, and there we go. There she is. You can also right click and install. There's also other options. For example, visit on Nexus. So if something has a weird like name and you're not sure where it's from, you could click on that and it'll literally just open up the file here. Once you've downloaded it, it is not active. This little checkbox isn't done. So even though this is in my mod manager, I can still edit it. I can still move it wherever I want to. If I were to launch my game right now, I wouldn't see it. So I click it, and there you go. It is now in my game. If you want to look at your files as seen by mo2, as in the files that are in your game, this data tab is where you're going to find all that. This is all my text codes from all the clothing mods that I have. Okay, so I wanted to showcase some random special cases. So the first one is Millionaire's hair, the CCXL's hair. They're so cute. I love them. However, download it. This is how you would manually install a mod, by the way. Here's my downloads, and I drag it in there to install it manually. Double click it, and it is not happy with the content of the directory. And if I open this up, you can see that there's not really like, it's not formatted properly basically for a mod manager. So that's fine. And it's going to tell me that it's wrong. That's okay. I know that it's wrong. I'm going to fix it. So how to fix it, you right click it, open in Explorer. This pulls it up in your file Explorer. And you are just going to want to make this look like the inside of a regular mod. So I changed this to archive. I'm going to put a PC in here. Drag these in here to make my life easier. New folder, mod. And drag those in there, and now it is formatted properly. I could close that out, enable my mod. It's going to show up where it belongs. Another special case, and I couldn't find a mod off the top of my head that has this problem, so I decided to just make the problem myself. This is Pinky Dude's avant-garde bodysuit. If you click download with mod manager, it's going to work perfect, exactly as it should. But I opened it up and I formatted it kind of weird. I put a codes.txt in there, which is going to make the mod manager a little bit confused. So when I drag it in there and I click download, it says the contents do not look valid. And what it's looking for is that archive PC mod or like R6. Like it's looking for that directory. It doesn't know what files to put where. So if I open this up, I can set this folder, because you can see inside here is the archive and the R6. Right click this, set as directory, and now it's formatted properly. So you don't have to like go in and manually change it if it's wrong in this way, which a lot of mods are. Here is another one. So this is updating a mod. Actually, this one is updating a mod. Lizzie's Brain Dances. This only has one file. I mean, there's other files, but I don't download them. So I download this. Oh, she's taking so long. Humiliating. Anyways, while I'm going, I'm just going to explain what's going on over here, because there's a lot. These are my little organizers. This makes it so that this doesn't completely suck to look at. So at the bottom, I always have this unsorted tab, and it's just so that whenever I install a new mod, it's not going in my bottom tab. It's like in its own place, so I know like I haven't gone through these yet. You do not have to sort these in the same way that I do. This is just how I personally do it. Do whatever works for you. I believe that there is a way to sort these automatically based on Nexus's flag, but truthfully, I think that that sucks, and I think you shouldn't do that. In order to create a new separator, you just right-click in an empty space at the bottom. Sometimes, like when everything's really full, let me open up some other stuff, and you can't like really see any space at the bottom, there is like a little space at the bottom of overwrite, and you can click create separator, and you can name it whatever you want. And it'll create one for you. You can also right-click it and like change the color of it, and you know, it'll make new separators also be that color. Okay, so this updated, or downloaded rather. So when I click on this, it's going to tell me there is a mod already that has this same name. It says this mod seems to be installed already, but what it means is there is something in here that has this exact name. Because this is an update, what I am going to do is I am going to click replace, and this is going to delete all of the old Lizzie's Brain Dances files. So sometimes mods will be like, if you're updating, delete the old files. You don't have to do any of that. The mod manager does it for you. We're using a real mod manager here. Replace, and there we go. It has replaced my files. And the last one is this one, which if you'll notice, it has some optional files. And I do have one of these installed. So this is, it just allows you to queue quick hacks on devices. But let's pretend that I never installed this to begin with. So I'm going to download both of these. Yes. Okay, so pretend that this is the first time that I'm installing this mod. Ooh, wow, cool, quick hack fixes. And I want to install this optional file. I have two options. The first option is I can double click this, and I click OK, and it says, okay, it's already here. What do you want to do with it? My first option is I can rename this to something else. So I might call this device queues. And the reason that I might do something like that is, for example, where is it at? Here we go. These are, I want to say these are Luminaries? Mana Vortex. Sorry, they both have M names. They have these Netrunner suits, and they have these optional files that allow you to do things like, for example, remove the sleeves, make the legs shorter, remove the legs entirely. And I have these downloaded separately, so like as you can see, like if I want to change what options I have, I literally just click on these, depending on how I want it to look. For the sake of these quick hack fixes, I don't really want to do that, because I just want my quick hack fixes to come with this like device queue thing. That's just how I prefer it. So this time when I click OK on this, and it asks what I want to do, I'm going to click merge. And what this is going to do is it's going to take everything that's in this mod and everything that's in this mod, and it's just going to put them all in the same folder. So they're all in the same place. So when I right click this, everything from here is going to be in there. I completely fucked up explaining this in the original, so I'm just recording over it with completely new audio, and I have a visual aid for you. But one of the more niche reasons that you might want to have an optional file installed as a separate mod is if the two mods have a file that is the exact same like file name in the same location. So in this example, right, it's the settings.lua, and I specifically want the light blue one, and the original one comes with this dark blue version. Um, if I were to merge them in Mod Organizer and on my PC, the dark blue settings.lua would be completely overwritten. It would be completely gone, and there would be no way to recover it. By keeping those files separate, I can maintain access to the original settings.lua. It's still there on my computer, and it only gets overwritten in the virtual file system, which is what Mod Organizer uses to load your mods. This is just less destructive, and it's the reason that it is considered best practice to install patches and optional files as separate mods. One thing that I didn't really explain properly the first time, or rather two things, is the overwrite folder and also different profiles. So different profiles is just different mods that are active. You can have them in different orders. It's going to be the same mods, it's going to be the same separators. But for example, like I have unused for all of the stuff that I'm not using, and I can actually use that for the things that I'm not using in a given profile. However, the overwrite folder is the one thing, I guess, that keeps this from being a completely smooth process. And keep in mind, this is something that Vortex can't do at all. So despite the little bit of extra work that the overwrite folder can take to babysit, it is, in my opinion, certainly worth it. So anytime that you are running a program through mo2 and it creates a file, so for example, when you deploy redmod, or when you launch the game and say, for example, you change a setting in a mod and it's going to create a folder, a file rather, probably like a settings file, and it's going to put that in this overwrite folder. Because of this, when you're using different profiles, you're going to want to swap out the contents of your overwrite folder, but not to worry, it takes 2 seconds. I'm about to show you how I do it. I want to open and explore. These are empty mods. You can right click in this empty space, create empty mod, and it basically just creates an entry here that you can open up and use like any other mod, but you don't have to like activate it, right? So these aren't actually doing anything. These are just, I'm basically just putting a file on my desktop, except instead of in my desktop, it's in my mo2. So this is what I do. I'm taking out my street kid overwrite stuff. I'm putting it in that empty mod. There it goes. And I'm taking my Oscar shit and I'm putting it in there. Okay, and now my overwrite file is looking good. I can deploy redmod if I want. Oh, one other thing. When you manually deploy redmod, so okay, sorry. When you are having issues with like your game like crashing, like it won't launch or whatever, usually the first step that I do is this entire cache folder, I delete it, and it has like, this shit in it. I'm gonna delete it just for the sake of this. Normally, if you're doing this through like Vortex or whatever, you have to verify your game files in Steam, or you need to have like the files that would normally go there like saved somewhere else. You could drag them in. With mo2, you don't have to do that, but it does have its own silly little quirk. So I'm gonna deploy my redmod. Ignore how long it takes. Open and explore. Okay, go back to my R6 and my cache. Actually, I'm just gonna show you. If I try to just run the game, it's gonna get mad at me. Yep. Oh no, your shit isn't right. Okay, ignore that. I'm just gonna tell you what's wrong with it. It does tell you in that thing, in that error message, but fuck that. For some reason, the first time that you do this, it doesn't put these two folders in the right place. You want to get this final.red scripts. Oh my god, cat on the keyboard. And this tweak.db period bin. To select both of those, by the way, I'm control clicking. Hold control, click. Now you have this installed. I'm going to copy this, copy, go up one level, paste it in here, and the game should run. If it doesn't run, I'm going to be embarrassed. God, the fact that it's taking so long is making me nervous. Okay, anyways, yeah, that works. Get out of here. Also, one other thing. Here we go. So you see these plus and minuses. That's a conflict. Let's open this up and let's see. it says archive PC mod as Y RGF uncursed shadows, blah blah blah. Okay. So if you open up both of these on Nexus, let's figure out why they are conflicting. It's the same mod. Oh yeah, it's the main mod, and then it's the different versions for each of the bodies. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense that they conflict. It is literally designed that way. It can't tell, for example, say that you have two tattoos and they both take up the body slot. This isn't going to be able to open up the archive files and figure out that those conflict. It doesn't work that way. But it will let you know, like, if there's like a literal file, like for example my clothing has a bunch of them because they all have like clothing.txt there. And the last thing, I promise this is the last one, is if you want to run any program that is going to like be able to read your cyberpunk mods, so for example like red mod or like woven kit, right? I'm not sure how long this is going to take, so I apologize if this takes a while. And I imagine that this will also go for that like conflict checker, which is how you actually check if your archive files have any conflicts in them. You would put that in this list of executables and you would run it through mo2. Do not run it outside of mo2. Really quickly while that's going, you're not supposed to unlock mo2 while it's running, basically because if you make any changes in here, it's not going to reflect in this, and things that you do in here might not reflect properly in there. But sometimes you just need to check your mods. Okay, but here, mod browser, and this will show you all of the things that are in your mods. If you run woven kit outside of this, it's only going to show you things that are in your actual cyberpunk folder, which if I locate it, you can see that it is clean, empty, nothing in here, no mods. So if I wanted to see those, I would have to run it through mo2. How you add files here is you can, where is it? Here, configure executables. You can either click this and it'll open this, or if you click on this, you can click edit, it brings up the exact same thing. So actually I'll do it right now just to show you. Let's download this. Actually, probably not smart to do it like that. I don't know why they had the download as mod manager link. I just automatically click that shit. Okay, we downloaded it manually. And let's go into here, games, modding. Sure, let's just shove it in here. Okay. So I click edit, add from file, and I am going to find, where did I put it? Games, modding. Here is my executable. This is, I'm just going to show you. So if you have Cyberpunk and you're running it through Steam, this skips the launcher. This skips one of the early screens. And this is like that little red mark checkbox that you would normally click in the launcher. This lets it know that that is on. So you want to make sure that you have this in your arguments for the main file. So let's go back to this. Apply, okay, and let's check to see if it runs. I literally have not tested this before, but this is how it always works, so I'm just going to assume that this is going to work. Oh, that is not my archives path. I don't know why you thought it was. Okay, select archive PC mod. Archive PC mod. Select folder. Yeah? Oh, you can do it, little guy. I so believe in you. I can tell that it's working. There they are. Fuck yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it does work. And that's how you're gonna run fucking anything that you want to read your mods. But I hope that that covers like all of the basic stuff that you're going to be doing with mo2. If you do have any questions about it, um, they do have a Discord server. Not everybody there, I assume, knows a lot about cyberpunk modding, but they will be able to answer questions about like the literal usage of the program, shit like that. Or ask in any of the big cyberpunk modding servers, and I'm sure somebody there uses it and can help you. And if you are really that desperate, you can let me know. But I am afraid to put an open invitation out onto the internet. But that is it.